and I need advice. And I do appreciate your crypto calls. Help me get my feet up off the ground. Suppo, please, please help me. Welcome to another episode, a live episode of Savage Cash. Here with me, Suppoman, your superhero of cryptocurrency. In today's episode of Serious Saturday, if you watched me last week, that was a serious episode. I'm coming to you again with another serious episode. And in today's episode, I'm going to be advising and recommending what to buy in 2018, really to help you out, to think for yourself, really. This is going to help you out immeasurably, I hope, understanding where cryptocurrency is going and how you can get a piece of that, a good chunk of that in the early stages. So if you're excited to learn about this, because this is a very important lesson, then smash up the likes and appreciation, smash up the likes and excitement, smash up the likes to make yourself feel better, give us a like spike. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Suppoman, I recommend that you do, so that you get my daily videos, access to my daily videos. And let me just make sure that I am live, because I've had all sorts of problems this week. Yes, you can hear me. Nice. You can hear me quite well by the looks of things. So, let's start off with looking at the market cap, because it's a resurgence. It's come back. I mean, since yesterday when we were looking at this live, it was at 592 billion market cap. Now the market cap has essentially increased by 30 billion in the space of 24 hours. And you can see that a lot of cryptocurrencies today are looking much healthier. Bitcoin, for instance, 3,000 more than it was the other day when it plummeted to under 10,000 inexplicably. Ethereum's now nearly back to where it was. Ripple's making a recovery. It's nowhere near where it was, but it is recovering. Bitcoin Cash is recovering. It's still under $2,000, so still in a good investable place. Cardano is still under 70 cents, having been over $1, but a lot of them are recovering and recovering nicely. Neo's recovered nicely. Ethos has recovered nicely. IOTA's on the way to recovering really nicely. Tron is still struggling to kind of get back on its feet. Icon's doing incredibly well. This went to $5 the other day. $5. So a lot of the prices that we saw when prices absolutely plummeted have kind of escaped now. And like I said, I mean, and I hope that you listened. And I hope that you bought, because I went offline and bought straight after that video. VeChain is now disappearing from where it was. It went to like $3, unbelievably, having been at $6. And now it's gone from strength to strength. And a lot of others, they're all following. They're all following. So we can see here that despite repeated attempts from mainstream media, like for instance even this article here, which is a lot less politically correct than a lot of the mainstream media, are just trying to get in on the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin news and trying to be relevant, because cryptocurrency is the now and the future. And so by making an article, it makes you appear more relevant. But, you know, I have seen news piece after news piece after news piece this week putting down Bitcoin, putting down cryptocurrency, saying how volatile it is and how people will get burnt and don't get involved in it, stick to stocks and shares like the idiots that they are. And the thing is that these puppets, these essentially centralized puppets that are working in the centralized system and are designed to put people off the decentralized system, are spreading fear by the bucket load. Now, it doesn't affect us necessarily, because you're here watching me, you've got sense, you understand. But the people that are, you know, flirting, teasing themselves, should I get involved with cryptocurrency, are constantly being put off. And those are the people that are unfortunately going to miss out on this goldmine opportunity, this golden era that we live in right now, where we can get involved in these cryptocurrencies at an early stage, make incredible gains, and essentially build the cryptocurrency ecosystem for the future. And I think this has got a very strong chance, because despite the mainstream centralized system trying to put it down constantly and repeatedly, it doesn't work. And it always comes back, like I've told you, it always comes back. Nothing can beat this. It's only going to grow more and more. So I've decided to put this in a helpful teaching style for you, so that I can, I suppose, help and inspire you and encourage you, I suppose, in what you should be doing over the course of 2018. So what I'm going to be showing is you how to buy, what should you be buying, how should you be buying, how do you think of your role as an investor in 2018. And the reason why I'm bringing this up particularly is because there are a ton of people that are constantly asking me for what are my calls, what am I investing in, what would I invest 5 grand, 10 grand, 30 grand in? If they were me, what would I do? And the thing is that, that's just the wrong way to approach it. It's the wrong way to approach it. And it couldn't be more simply said than in my first point in investing in 2018. So point number 5 is that you need to be looking at investing into the future of cryptocurrency. This is your perception of what you see as the future of cryptocurrency. Yeah, what do you want to thrive in cryptocurrency? Now, such calls, you need to use people like me, DataDash, Box Mining, Crypto Daily, Altcoin Buzz, CryptoLark, us guys as essentially as sound checks, as cross-references, okay? So you need to be doing the research. You need to be, getting involved in cryptocurrency, taking one of my courses, understanding how to get started in cryptocurrency, and that should be your starting point. Not watching somebody like me and copy trading me or copy trading anybody else or copy investing. You need to be making these investments for yourself because that is the way that you stick to a cryptocurrency and it's not just something artificial. A lot of the reason why people let go of their cryptocurrencies, why they sell so easily, is not because of holding rewards. It's not because, it's not because of anything that they get as a benefit to holding it. It's because they don't believe in it. They don't believe in it, and so they are just likely to sell it. Holding comes from believing. And that is how you can essentially make the money, because the best way to make money in cryptocurrency is long-term investing. So you have got to look at the future of cryptocurrency. What do you want to see thrive in this space? And you need to invest in that type of cryptocurrency. So one of mine is QuantStamp. Okay, so QuantStamp is a cryptocurrency I want to personally succeed in the future of cryptocurrency because it's auditing, it's unique in what it does. The value proposition is unique. It allows smart contracts essentially allows cryptocurrencies to make sure their smart contracts are working. It plugs the holes that are kind of in there security wise, and it allows cryptocurrencies to have some kind of ISO certification. That's what we call it in the UK. It's ISO certification. Essentially like a badge of approval from a certified body saying that we have complied with certain quality and you are safe to invest in us. QuantStamp are essentially that ISO company, that certified badge on a cryptocurrency to say it's worth investing in. So I like things like that, and I like others, but I'll touch on that in the next slide. You need to invest where the gains are. Okay, so if you invest at the tip of Ray blocks, or if you invest in Ethereum, or if you invest in Ripple or Bitcoin, okay, these are great investments in terms of the trajectory is always up. They're very, very strong, but they have matured to a certain extent. Now, they haven't fully matured. In 2-3 years' time, the prices you see now are going to be a joke compared to where they are, in that time scale, in that time. But where the gains really are is in getting into cryptocurrencies, low market caps, low coin cost, because that is where you make the multipliers. Getting out 5 cents means it only needs to go to 10 cents to double. Getting out 1 cent means it only needs to go to 2 cents to double. And going from 1 cent to 20 cents, that is 20 times already. So if you get into a really good cryptocurrency that you believe in, look, using the first kind of tip, if you get into a cryptocurrency you really believe in, you get in early, you make the gains, okay? You're not going to make the gains if you invest in Ethereum or if you invest in something that's already blown up. You're going to make gains in the future, but they'll be, times 10, times 20 kind of gains. But you want to be looking at the times 50, times 1,000 gains if you really want to do well in cryptocurrency. So look for where the gains are. If you go for something and make 3x, wow, big whoopee do. You need to go into something where, and this is investing at the end of the day, not trading. Trading, making 3 times is good, but investing, that's not what you want to be doing. You want to be investing in something where you can make a lot of money and essentially benefit from helping the cryptocurrency ecosystem to grow. Don't blindly invest in other people's calls. A lot of people wait for my calls and then they invest, okay? Now, this is a lot of people have made money doing that, okay? And I'm not going to deny that you will make money doing that. And other people, my first ever trade was in Ripple when somebody said to me at 2 cents, you need to get into this. And I blindly went into it. And luckily it paid off. But I trusted him, but he made a similar call and it went pear-shaped. Luckily, I didn't put in as much, but it went pear-shaped. Don't blindly invest. I blindly invested in the second call, and it was a bad decision. Okay, don't blindly invest in other people's calls because number one, there's not going to be the belief there that that you are that you're investing in it because you personally believe in it, because you personally like it, because you personally want to see it thrive. You are. And B, because you are essentially hoping on a wing and a prayer that the person who you trust, like me, is going to deliver that gain. Because I say it's going to deliver that gain, it's going to deliver that gain. And if it doesn't, then you are quick to bow out. So you shouldn't blindly invest in other people's calls. What you should do is if somebody you trust makes the call, you need to do the research yourself. Now, yesterday I made a call on the ICO ARC blocks, and there were a ton of people that, came back and they said, I've seen this and that and the other written about it on Reddit that I don't necessarily trust. I like that. Okay, I like the fact that people have actually done research. I like the fact that people are actually doing their due diligence and they are making sure that they are getting as much information on this as possible. So people haven't just literally thought, oh yeah, my Suppoman is going for ARC blocks, so I'm going to go straight for ARC blocks as soon as I can invest in it. Bad decision. Because you need to have a look at everything. Now, personally, having received, a few articles that people have written on ARC blocks, I am still really, really bullish on ARC blocks. I personally think that is going to do extremely well, and that I suppose the objections are quite empty, to be honest. I mean, it's just people being pedantic, concentrating on semantics, and really trying to find holes in something where there are no holes. But I do like the fact that people are doing their due diligence. So essentially, you need to make your own calls. Use people like me to corroborate those calls. Use people like me to make sure that I've covered the bases that you may not have thought about, and then go to other YouTubers and do the same thing. So don't blindly invest in other people's calls, because you won't stay in those calls. Especially if it goes at the slightest sign of trouble, you'll just bugger off, which is never a good thing, either for the cryptocurrency or yourself. Number two, be passionate about what you want to grow. Okay, I've already told you I like QuantStamp, I like Ethos, I like Utrust, I like Power Ledger, I like so many cryptocurrencies because I'm passionate about what they are looking to achieve, what their vision is, how they are looking to achieve that vision, and who they've got to achieve that vision with. So I've got basically all these cryptocurrencies satisfy all the criteria I'm looking for, and I'm passionate about them, and I want them to grow. Other people, maybe yourself, if you look to people like me for investment advice, which I hope that you don't because I'm not a financial advisor, but if you go and you come to me for investment advice, you are literally getting involved in my call. It's not your call. That means that A, you could get burnt because, if you're watching somebody other than me, let's say Trevon James, and you get involved in BitConnect, then you can be massively stung on something like that. You need to have the passion within you that you are investing in something that you personally believe in, because therefore you're going to hold it. You're going to be happy that the cryptocurrency you've invested in has your money that essentially funds, what will make them successful in delivering their vision in the future. So be passionate, enjoy what you're investing in. Don't just invest in a name, invest in something you're passionate about. That's what I have done, and in each and every case I've done that, I've been able to hold and make incredible gains from those holds. Now we're going to come to number one. Number one is you've got to think of yourself as a small business investor. I know a lot of people right now are thinking, I'm investing for the gains. I'm investing for the money. If I put 1,000 in, I want to make 10,000 out of it, or 20,000, or 100,000. That's how people look at it. They look at it as if to think, I'm investing for the gains. Don't think of yourself that way. Or if you do think of yourself that way, consider thinking of yourself also as a small business investor. Think of yourself essentially as one of those guys in Shark Tank or Dragon's Den or one of those investor programs where you've got like Mark Cuban, Richard Branson, Ashton Kutcher, and they're all, you know, they've got all these people coming up into the den or into the Shark Tank and they're pitching. You are one of those people. You are like Richard Branson. You are like Mark Cuban. You are the person investing. The cryptocurrency is the person pitching to you. And what you've got to do is you've got to essentially look at that pitch and think, is that where I want to put my money? Now, you all know that I talk about cryptocurrencies that people really like that I personally don't like. IOTA. I was not into IOTA. I never really liked IOTA, even though it's pretty good. I've never personally really liked it. Another one's Digibyte. I never really liked Digibyte. I liked it at first a bit. Now I hate it. But there's still lots of people that believe in it, and it doesn't mean that I'm right and that they're wrong, or that they're right and I'm wrong. All it means is that people invest in it because they believe in it. They want to put their money in it. They want to help that thrive because they see the value in it. They see the future in it. You've got to think of yourself as a small business investor, as an angel investor. You're essentially giving money for something, right? You're giving money to these cryptocurrencies to fulfill a vision that you want to see succeed. They, in exchange for that, are giving you tokens to help you get the gains out of it. And that is how you need to think of the dynamic. You're a small business investor or a medium-sized business, whatever, okay? So let's not go into semantics. But essentially, you are an angel investor, investing in cryptocurrencies that you can help thrive. They can't get anywhere without your money, and you can get somewhere by them delivering value to you. So it's a two-way relationship. They deliver the value, but you give them the resource to make that value. As soon as you take that out, then you're essentially taking away your resource. Okay, fine, you've made some gains, but you're essentially taking away some resource. Therefore, you've got to kind of leave it in enough time for it to vest, for them to fulfill a vision, for them to get on exchanges, for them to hit roadmap items. And in exchange for that, they keep releasing value to you. And you can just keep on benefiting from that value until ultimately you want to bow out, which could be when it's a completed product, could be when they've got their MVP. Doesn't really matter, but you've got to think of yourself as a small business investor. Don't just think of yourself as a copy investor. Don't just think of yourself as I'm going to copy Suppoman or I'm going to copy whoever, or I'm going to just put my money in for the gains. No, you're investing in the future. You're investing in the technology. So that's really what you got to do. You've got to kind of think of yourself as a person enabling the ecosystem to grow and thrive. Okay, you're enabling cryptocurrencies and platforms to grow and thrive with the money that you're investing in them. So it's really important that when you're investing in 2018, that you're investing smartly and you're investing passionately, and that you're investing as if you are a business person investing in a company that is going to deliver you massive gains, just like what Mark Cuban and Richard Branson or Peter Jones, whichever version of Shark Tank you watch, whatever country you're in, that's how you got to think of yourself, as that person. And just because Richard Branson invests in, let's put it into a cryptocurrency situation. Let's say Richard Branson invested in Digibyte and Mark Cuban hated Digibyte. Doesn't mean Richard Branson's wrong, doesn't mean Mark Cuban's wrong. It all depends on who sees the value in that business. And are you willing to help fund that business so that you get the value back, the return on investment? Now, I am going to now present to you what I believe are going to be the trends for 2018. So now that I've kind of delivered to you how you should be investing, how you should be approaching the investing game, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to present to you 6 trends that I believe are going to be quite important in 2018. Okay, because this is where I think the space is going. This is where I think the value is going to be achieved. These are the cryptocurrencies that exist just outside of those just currencies where you can transfer value from one person to another. These are actual platforms. These are visions that are going to enable cryptocurrency to not be a bubble where it bursts and everything just goes down and you never hear from everything again. It's going to actually make this a evolution in the world. Okay, so this is going to enable these platforms to actually evolve, to actually make cryptocurrency a thing, so that the masses come to cryptocurrency and not that the masses of mainstream media and centralized businesses destroy cryptocurrency. So, at number 5, okay, this is in the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter because there is no order. So, decentralized exchanges, I think, is going to be a big one for 2018. They already kind of had a little bit of a lift at the tail end of 2017, but in 2018, I think they're going to be even bigger and more prevalent. Okay, and the reason why is because of the trustless nature that's entering into cryptocurrency. You don't want to have to trust a third party to manage your cryptocurrency. Essentially, with centralized exchanges like the Poloniex, like the Bitrexes, you're essentially putting money on that exchange, which means it's open to being hacked, which means that you're open to being charged massive amounts for transaction fees. And so decentralized exchanges are going to cut both of those pains. You're not going to have to, you know, put your money onto a third party exchange where it's at risk of being stolen. And also, you know, you're not going to be hit by those heavy fees. So decentralized exchanges, I think, are going to be really good, not only for cutting out that pain, but also for not being subject to potential bans, country bans. Okay, so South Korea, China, England, Europe, whatever, Australia. Okay, if any of them decide to enforce a legislation that stops third-party exchanges from operating, you're stuffed. And particularly if you've got your money in that exchange and all of a sudden they just close down or close your account. What do? You are stuffed. You are left up the creek without a paddle. So decentralized exchanges are going to give more control to you so that if bans are enforced in your country or region or continent, then you can bypass it by having a decentralized exchange on your computer that disables them, that disables your money from being controlled by a centralized entity. Now, Robinhood is one that is doing really well, and Aphelion is one that hasn't even started yet, but this is a Neo-based decentralized exchange that I think is going to sort out a lot of the China FUD. It's going to stop, you know, people in China from. It's going to prevent people from being banned in China from trading and investing in cryptocurrencies. But decentralized exchanges, I think, is going to be amazing in the future. Feeless cryptocurrencies, IOTA, INT Chain, Rayblocks. These are cryptocurrencies that essentially allow you to transfer money to another person or entity for nothing. Okay. Now, I think that these are immeasurably valuable because, as you will probably see from the likes of Poloniex, from the likes of Bittrex, from the likes of Coinbase, these are platforms that charge you heavily, and there are other exchanges that charge you really heavily as well. And I think that lots of people have become sick and tired of being charged a lot when it comes to cryptocurrency. So I think that feeless transactions is going to be, you know, a massive area, massive trend for 2018. Now, IOTA has exploded. Rayblocks has exploded. INT Chain has not exploded. That's still one that you can get in and still make the gains. But looking forward into the future, any ICOs or any early stage cryptocurrencies that involve feeless, that kind of allow you to have feeless transactions, that will be beneficial in the future. You've got to have the kind of technology that comes with it, but feeless is one of the big trends I see for 2018. Standardization. What you have at the moment is you've got a lot of businesses, niches, that have different ways of doing things, okay? You've got, like, social media. Facebook have their way of doing things. Twitter have their way of doing things. YouTube have their way of doing things. Snapchat has their way of doing things. Instagram. So all of these have different rules that essentially govern social media sharing, okay? Standardization is what a lot of cryptocurrencies are going to start implementing so that they can tidy up a niche, okay? AppCoins is doing that for app stores. Publica is doing that for publishers. Poet is doing that for creative works. Okay, so what they're looking to do is essentially just make one blanket approach that sorts out a whole niche. Okay, so cryptocurrencies that add some form of standardization to their niche is going to be another trend of 2018, because this disables competitors a lot. Because if you've got a first mover standardized platform for a particular niche, they have got not the monopoly, but they have got the market share. if they grow quite nicely, if they get a lot of investment, if they blow up on the market cap list, then they've got every chance of being a first mover. And if they're standardizing a whole industry, it makes it much harder for competition to come in and try and compete with that, because the whole point of standardization is that there's one way of doing things, not hundreds of ways. So people are really going to go to one place for that standardization. So standardization is another trend for 2018. Ecosystems. This is one I really like. Essentially, this is making a virtual industry, a virtual ecosystem. If you watched me 2 days ago, I was walking around the city of London. You will have seen those impressive buildings, the walkie-talkie, the cheese grater, the gherkin. You will see the financial industry all around me, essentially just surrounding me. And what ecosystems are, like OneChain, is that's essentially putting it all on the blockchain, okay? So it's essentially creating one big ecosystem, one big system in a particular niche within one platform, okay? So OneChain, what you saw around me was the physical version of OneChain. OneChain is going to be putting the financial industry on a blockchain, okay, making a virtual financial sector, a virtual financial ecosystem. So everything you saw around me, insurance buildings, loan companies, banks, all of those things that you saw around me, exchanges, everything was around me there. That is all going to be accessible virtually via the OneChain ecosystem. So ecosystems are going to be big, essentially, for bringing what are at the moment physical ecosystems, physical industries into the virtual space. Okay, so OneChain are doing that for finance. CargoX is doing that for logistics. VeChain is doing that for a number of different types of niche as well. So these ecosystems are going to be huge. OneChain, I think, is going to be one of the biggest cryptocurrencies of 2018. I can't personally wait to see what OneChain's value will be in December 2018 / January 2019. I think it's going to be one of the biggest growers, simply because when you look at the vision, when you look at how I was back in London, they are bringing that whole industry into virtual reality, I suppose. Well, it's not virtual reality, but it's making it a virtual industry, so that it's much easier to be able to have access to financial markets, the financial sector, without having to go to all these buildings and essentially, have your identity being separate in each and every one of them. This will allow you to have one identity across the financial sector. So ecosystems is going to be massive, and ecosystems are going to exist in more and more niches. OneChain is really finance. Icon is doing it kind of across niche. Cargo's doing it. CargoX is doing it in kind of logistics. And there are so many others, like Medical Chain. There's going to be MediBlocks, whatever. There are going to be these platforms looking to create ecosystems virtually. Number 1, speed and scalability. This is what I think is going to be one of the biggest ones, okay? Cryptocurrencies that have speed and scalability at the heart are going to be the big performers, okay? And they already have shown that. High Performance Blockchain has done incredibly well. Trinity is going to be an off-chain scaling solution for Neo. Okay, so Neo-based cryptocurrencies, Neo-based users, they are going to have much better speed and scalability because of solutions like Trinity. Cardano are creating a super blockchain that has speed at heart and scalability at heart. That means that there's going to be millions of transactions that are going to be activated in seconds. Okay, so speed and scalability is going to be huge, because problems like what happened with the Ethereum network was a big eye-opener for users of Ethereum, users sending value from one person to another. That was such a big eye-opener that unless you've got speed and scalability, you're going to have problems with the network. And in 2018 is going to be focusing on being better than what's already out there. So Cardano and Ethos are aiming to be better than Ethereum. High Performance Blockchain is going to be an even more super kind of product for people in the big data processing companies. So speed and scalability are going to be so big for 2018. And when I bring you cryptocurrency, when I bring you savage crypto episodes where I bring up speed and scalability is one of their key features, that is something you need to pay attention to. Okay, because speed and scalability, having proved by Cardano and EOS how they have grown so magnificently, just shows you what appetite there is out there. And that if somebody can come along and do it even better, then they have got every chance of being the next top cryptocurrency. And the one that should have been at the bottom, disruptors. This is my personal favourite. Okay, so I love people that are disrupting industries, that have gone about doing things a certain way, that have gone about operating in a certain way, and monopolise an industry and charge and do what they want and control users, and users just have to essentially deal with it. So one of those is Power Ledger. Okay, so Power Ledger is disrupting the energy industry. Okay, it's stopping these big utility companies charging people the earth for electricity. Power Ledger's coming in and making electricity available at the cheapest possible cost. Power Ledger is one of my big disruptors. I love them. I love them right from the beginning. I thought this was one of the big cryptocurrencies in the future, and it's still so early. This went down to like 63 cents the other day. Ridiculous. And disruptors are where I see cryptocurrency becoming the evolution in our world. Okay, other ones are BitDegree. Okay, so we've got course platforms out there that allow you to buy online education and learn from your desktop, but you can't buy in cryptocurrency. You don't get incentivized to learn. BitDegree essentially disrupts that industry, incentivizing you to learn, paying you to learn. Now, no other platform does that. That only happens on apprenticeships, where or internships, where you essentially earn while you learn. And BitDegree are bringing that into the crypto space, allowing you to learn a full course, learn a magnificent, a really sought after skill, and paying you for it. Obviously, there will be charges as well, because course providers will be able to, or instructors are going to be able to charge companies for upskilling their teams, and also be able to just charge individuals. But there is this smart incentive scheme which allows people to be paid for learning, which is amazing. Ethos is another disruptor to Coinbase, a disruptor essentially in the banking industry. Okay, so this is going to make much easier access to finance for the masses. This is going to enable the masses. I've always thought this of Ethos. This is the biggest disruptor in this space, because it enables the masses to come to cryptocurrency. I've had so many people come up to me and say, how do I get involved in cryptocurrency? And I take it for granted that I think people will go to Coinbase or go to Bitstamp or CoinMama or Gemini or whatever, whichever one they use, Kraken or whatever. I take for granted that people know already how to get their hands on Bitcoin and how to get their hands on Ethereum with fiat. But the fact of the matter is they don't. Ethos is going to be that one-stop solution for all the masses wanting to enter cryptocurrency. It's going to allow them to do atomic swaps. So if they want to change their Bitcoin for Ethereum, they can. That is going to allow them to hold their cryptocurrency securely, so they don't have to pay money on a Ledger, NanoS or a Trezor. So Ethos is going to be massive. And then Utrust, that's a disruptor, because PayPal is the main online paying solution. Okay, now Utrust is going to be enabling that for cryptocurrency, as well as I believe fiat currency. So Utrust is going to be like the super version of PayPal, but at the same time offering better user protection for buyer and seller than PayPal. So these are disruptors. I love disruptors. So what you're essentially seeing here are the big trends. These are the features you need to be looking whenever I'm presenting, or whenever anybody is presenting a cryptocurrency to you, or analysing a cryptocurrency to you. These are the buzzwords you need to look for. Speed and scalability, ecosystems, standardization, feeless structures, feeless transactions, decentralized exchanges, and disruptors. Okay, these are the winning formula for what you should be investing in 2018, and where you should be putting your investments, because essentially you are that angel investor, you are that small business investor, and you should be looking to invest in something that's going to grow the space. So I think this has hopefully been very educational for you. I hope that actually, if you haven't already made that switch from copying other people, I hope this gives you the independence to do it for yourself. Because ultimately, this is what I do. I don't listen to other people's advice and then present it to you. I don't hear, oh, you know, somebody I respect may have invested in one chain, and then I copy it and tell it to you. Every single cryptocurrency that I have pointed out to you, that I have analysed for you, are ones that I have analysed myself, I see the potential in, and so I present that to you and allow you to make a decision. You don't have to do that decision, but I present you with the facts, I present you with the features so that you can see how valuable it is, but it's down to you if you believe in it, if you think you should invest in it. And that is what I want you to really take away from this episode of Savage Cash, is that you need to look at these coins for yourself and stop asking people what's good to buy, what's going to make me 10x, 30x, 100x. Stop going into communities and saying what's going to make me all the money. Forget about the money side of it. Obviously that's important. That's what everybody does when they invest in stocks and shares and all that kind of thing. There's always going to be a place to trade and make short-term gains, but what you really want to be doing is you want to be investing in something you're passionate about, something you want to see thrive, something you see the long-term potential in, and that enables you to hold. And holding is the best method of making money in cryptocurrency. So hopefully all of this creates a virtuous circle for you so that you massively benefit. I'm going to have to go very shortly because I've got my son coming, but smash up the likes. Smash up the likes. Let me just see if there are any last questions. Crypto Numbnuts. If you haven't already, go check out the Crypto Lark. I speak to Crypto Lark. I love Crypto Lark. He's brilliant. Car Vertical getting listed on KuCoin. Car Vertical is what I would call a kind of ecosystem, a kind of car ecosystem, a V-chain essentially for the car industry. So I really like that. Privacy coin, Suppoman. Privacy. Yeah, privacy is also going to be big. The thing is that privacy was a big one for 2018. It is going to continue on in 2017. Was a big one in 2017. It's going to continue on in 2018. So, you know, so again, it is a really good area. Thank you very much, Stuart. I love you too. Titanium's done. There's no point really talking about it. Did you know Electronium joined business with Titanium? Ah, okay. Maybe I'm not so fussed that I missed out then. Anything else? Anything else? So I hope by giving you this advice, you've seen evidence of why certain cryptocurrencies have appealed to me and why I've gone in with them. Yeah, lots of people just chucking in their cryptocurrencies and not really asking anything of value. I already said, peeps, ask decent questions. Don't just chuck in the cryptocurrency you want me to shill for you, because I ain't gonna do it. That's not how it works. No attention for stellar lumens. I'm personally not into stellar lumens. You know, again, this is what I mean by when you know, although other people like it, other people are invested in it, I'm not invested in it. It's not my kind of thing. It doesn't fit my class. But it's not me saying that it's rubbish. It's just me saying I don't personally like it. It's not personally for me. And I think that you should be the same. Just because someone says, oh, it's really good, doesn't mean you should say, oh, I'm going to invest in that. No, you need to basically invest in something you're passionate about, because that's the only way you'll hold it. Love the Beatles remarks. Yeah, I do love the Beatles. I love the Beatles. I love John Lennon. I think they're awesome. Outstanding video today. Very informative. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, actually, somebody asked me the other day. Oh, it was amazing when I went to Data Dash's when I crashed his party, which he didn't. Nobody was expecting me. I just came, and because of who I am, they just let me in. Because of who I am. Who do you think you are, Suppoman? But because I'm Suppoman, obviously, they knew who I was, so let me in. And people just, you know, I was astonished to see how many people's lives I've touched. And not only that, but I was also astonished just to see people's faces. Obviously, what I see here is just a load of names. Right now, on my screen, I see a load of names, a load of people asking me questions. But I don't see the faces. I don't see the identities. I don't see that these are real people. They're just names. And what I liked about the other day is I saw actual people who watch me and saw their faces and actually was able to interact with them in person. And it has made me reconsider, should I have my own kind of event? I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I'm too frightened of somebody trying to punch me. Anyway, so maybe it'll happen. But it's nice to see people people's faces. But Michelle Williams, somebody asked me the other day, they said, who is Michelle? Is she your, like, girlfriend or something? And I said, no, she's just somebody who watches my... They're saying, but you always mention her. It's funny. That's it, peeps. I think that's it. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Crypto Dan. What do you use to sell crypto back to fiat in the UK? I don't. There are options. There's Coinbase, there's Revolut, there's GDAX. There are other ones, but I don't use them because I don't convert to fiat. I just wouldn't do that. How to get into ICOs for US peeps? Right. This is something that I'd like to bring you in the future. The problems with this are that essentially it's all about the SEC. So in the US, the SEC is like the securities kind of legislation. Okay, so they prevent ICOs from being offered to US citizens unless you're an accredited investor with a net worth of over 1 million over like the last two calendar years or something. So unless you're an accredited investor, you can't get involved in most ICOs. Not all. Like, for instance, Vice is open to people in the US. But at the same time, most ICOs can't offer you the ability to buy because of SEC regulations in the US. And that's because a cryptocurrency has to properly demonstrate they're not a security before you can get into it. And also, it just stops people from losing their money. That's how the US see it. So that's how why they do it. But it's difficult to find a cryptocurrency ICO that can be purchased in America that's good at the same time. It's all fine and good finding any ICO that you can buy in the US, but you have to find a good one. That's personally what I like to concentrate on. So there we are, me village. So that's it, peeps. That's it. Awesome video, Suppoman. Suppo stud. Thank you very much. Buy low, sell high. And that's it. That's it, peeps. Yeah, that's it. So, somebody has just asked, once you surpass all of your financial goals in cryptocurrency, how will you know when it's time to cash out? Well, there may never be a time to cash out. If currency evolves the way that it looks like it's evolving, where it doesn't really matter. The thing is that's great about cryptocurrency is it's a global currency. It's not, you know, you don't have to exchange dollars into pounds or dollars into euros or whatever. It's just, you just transfer Ethereum. If I want to pay someone in the US, I could pay them Ethereum or I could pay them Bitcoin. There's no need for it to be exchanged, for there to be exchange rates. It's a global currency, and one day it will be accepted as a currency. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, because you never know what will happen. But one day you may never need to cash out, because places will accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So there we are, Marble Arch. That's it. I've got to go now, because I've got my sonny boy, who I'm going to be seeing now, and he's going to be bringing out his own channel one day. So make sure that you stay tuned, because he's bloody awesome. So there we are, peeps. Hope that answers some of your questions. Hope that brought you a very valuable lesson today. And I will see you next time. Till next time, peeps, it is lights out, all out. Da 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 da.